Listen carefully now, because what I'm about to tell you is simultaneously the most obvious thing in the world and the most easily forgotten truth of your existence. In Hindu mythology, and please understand, when I say mythology, I don't mean falsehood. I mean a truth too deep for mere facts. They tell us that the world is God's drama. But before you conjure up images of that bearded gentleman on a throne, that cosmic dictator issuing commandments from on high, let me stop you right there. That's not what they mean at all. God in Indian thought is not the boss. God is the self. Satchitananda, 3 Sanskrit words compressed into one magnificent idea, Sat, which means that which exists. Chit, which means consciousness, awareness itself. And Ananda, which means bliss, joy, the overwhelming delight of being. Put it all together, and what do you have? You have the stunning recognition that existence itself, reality as it is, right here, right now, is absolutely gorgeous. It is the plenum, the fullness, the overflowing abundance of total joy. It's not good because it leads somewhere. It's not valuable because it serves some purpose. It simply is, and that isness is ecstatic. Look up at the night sky. Go on, do it tonight. All those stars scattered across the darkness, like diamonds thrown by a drunken jeweler, what are they? They're a fireworks display, the grandest celebration you've ever witnessed. It's the universe throwing itself a party, celebrating the fact that anything exists at all. The universe is not a machine, grinding away towards some distant goal. The universe is a celebration, a cosmic yes shouted into the void. And here's the thing that will knock you sideways if you really get it. You are sitting right in the middle of this celebration, right now, with your ordinary face, your everyday clothes, your familiar personality with all its quirks and complaints. You are sitting smack in the middle of what the mystics call the Beatific Vision. This room, this moment, this breath, this is infinity and eternity, not as concepts, but as living presence. This is it. This is God, if you want to use that word. But don't get hung up on the terminology. Confucius once said something that'll stop you dead in your tracks. A person who understands the Tao in the morning can die contentedly in the evening. Do you hear what he's saying? If you have ever lived one complete moment, not a distracted moment, not a moment while scrolling through your phone or worrying about tomorrow, but one utterly complete moment, you can be ready to die. You can look at existence and say, well, that was it, that was the good, I've had it. And the more you sit with this, the more you reflect upon the simple fact of your existence, the stranger and more miraculous it becomes that you are here at all. Think about it. Really think about it. This trip between the maternity ward and the crematorium, this curious interval we call life, it's exceedingly odd, isn't it? You suddenly awaken into this world as if out of nothing. Where were you before you were born? Can you remember? What was it like to wake up, having never gone to sleep? It's the most mysterious business imaginable. I am absolutely amazed, and I mean genuinely, viscerally amazed to discover myself on this rock ball, rotating around a spherical fire. I'm this tiny, fragile organism on this tiny, fragile planet, hurtling through the void at thousands of miles per hour, and somehow this whole cosmic show is growing here, right here in this meat and bone, realizing its own presence, becoming aware that it is aware. The more I look at things, really look with fresh eyes, the more I cannot shake the feeling that existence is utterly, completely, magnificently weird. Not unpleasant weird, not disturbing weird, but astonishing weird, because it so easily might not have been. Play with this thought. If your father had never met your mother, would you be here now? Perhaps somebody would be here, because your father might have met somebody else. But would that be you? You can only be you by being this one, this precise combination, this exact moment of genetic and cosmic lottery. And yet, and this will really bake your noodle, every someone is you. Every pair of eyes is the same fundamental mystery, looking out at itself. And yet here you are, breathing, thinking, aware. What an impossible miracle this is. This whole vast universe with its billions of galaxies, its trillions of stars, its unimaginable expanses of space and time, could have rolled on without your eyes to see it, your ears to hear it, your heart to feel it. And yet, impossibly, inconceivably, it has arranged itself into you. The universe has organized itself in such a way that a part of it can look at the rest of it and say, wow. And so the ordinary becomes extraordinary. The heartbeat in your chest, that steady drum that's been playing since before you could remember, becomes a miracle. Your breath, that automatic rising and falling, becomes a meditation. The play of sunlight and shadow across your hand becomes a revelation. Existence did not have to be. There is no law of nature that demanded that something rather than nothing should exist. And yet here it is. Here you are. And in this sheer, outrageous improbability, we suddenly see how utterly astonishing it is that anything is happening at all. Now lean in close, because this is where it gets really interesting. What you are deep, deep down, far inside, at the very root and ground of your being is not something separate from the rest of existence. You are not a stranger here, not an alien dropped into a foreign world. You are simply the fabric and structure of reality itself, expressing as this particular form, wearing this particular face, telling this particular story. Everybody is I. You know you are you, don't you? You can't escape that sense of I am. And wherever beings exist, whether on this planet or scattered throughout all the galaxies, whether in this dimension or others we can't even imagine, it doesn't make any difference. You are all of them, not in some vague, poetic sense. Actually, really, the true I, you see, is not that little ego rattling around inside your skull, worrying about what people think, anxious about the future, regretful about the past. The true I is the one self, the ground of being, playing hide and seek through 10,000 forms, through 10 billion disguises. And when you finally get this, when it clicks, when the penny drops, you want to laugh and cry at the same time. Good heavens! What was I making all that fuss about? Here we are. This is it. This is what we've been looking for all along. And it's been right here from the very beginning, hiding in plain sight, so obvious we couldn't see it. You see, self and other are not really opposed. They're not enemies. They're not even separate things trying to get along. They are like the poles of a magnet, inseparable, though they seem opposite. Just as you cannot have a magnet with only a north pole, you cannot have a self without the other. They define each other. They create each other. They are each other, seen from different angles. What we call me and not me are simply two ways of looking at the same reality, like the inside and outside of a cup. The experience you are having right now, which you call your ordinary, everyday consciousness, is exactly the same thing as ultimate reality. There's no difference at all. None. You, by being this organism with soft skin and fragile bones, call into being the whole universe of light and color, of hardness and heaviness, of sound and silence. You evoke the world, and the world evokes you. Each side implies the other as front implies back, as the crest of a wave implies the trough. Suddenly, you see, you are not just a passenger in this universe, some consciousness hitching a ride through space and time. You are the universe looking at itself from one of its billion points of view. You are the cosmos becoming aware of itself, right here, right now, through these very eyes. And here's one of the great delights, one of the cosmic jokes that makes the whole game worth playing. Existence dances on the line between control and surrender. Think about it. If everything were completely under your control, it would be like writing yourself a letter and then reading it. Hardly any fun at all, is it? Where's the surprise? Where's the delight? The beauty is in the uncertainty, the unpredictability, the wild spontaneity of things. It's like playing with a gyroscope. You can spin it, balance it on your fingertip, guide it this way and that. But it also has a life of its own. It wobbles, it resists, it moves in ways you didn't plan. That tension between control and chaos, that's where the magic lives. Or like driving a car. You're more or less in control, steering down the road, master of your vehicle, yet not entirely. The road curves unexpectedly. The wind pushes against you. The machine hums with its own mechanical life. You feel both mastery and mystery at once, and that's what makes it thrilling. This is why games are fun. why music is delightful, why love is alive and dangerous and worth it. Because there is always something that escapes your grasp, that surprises you, that moves in ways you did not plan. The other player makes an unexpected move. The melody goes somewhere you didn't anticipate. The person you love reveals depths you never imagined. If you had absolute power, absolute control over every variable, every outcome, every moment, it would be like playing chess against yourself, while knowing every move you're going to make. Boring beyond measure, pointless, dead. So the universe, in its infinite wisdom, has arranged itself as play, as lila, as the Hindus call it, a dance of knowing and not knowing, of grasping and letting go, of control and surprise. You are in control just enough to feel your own participation, to feel that what you do matters, but never so much that the outcome is certain, never so much that the game becomes predictable. And that's what makes life worth living. The measure to which something is not under your control is the measure to which it feels truly alive, truly other, truly real. When you hold on too tightly, whether to a relationship, an idea, a possession, a moment, it slips away like water through your fingers. But when you open your hand, when you relax your grip, the bird may rest in your palm for a while, singing of its own free will, giving itself to you precisely because you're not trying to capture it. And so you discover that existence is not a problem to be solved, but a game to be played, a dance to be danced. The trick is not to seize it, not to control it, not to master it. The trick is to join the rhythm and let it carry you. Now, if you understand, really understand, that you don't want absolute power, that you don't want absolute control, that you want just enough power to play the game well, then something extraordinary opens up. When the drive for power disappears, another motivation takes its place. The willingness to let go, the willingness to surrender, the willingness to trust. You see, the more you give power away, the more you discover who you really are. The all-powerful surrenders power so that the play of life may exist. In Christian mystical terms, they call this kenosis, the self-emptying of God, the giving away of control, the conferring of freedom on creation. In Hindu terms, it is God getting lost in the 10,000 beings, disguising himself so completely that he forgets he's God and has to go on the whole journey of remembering. But it's the same idea across cultures, across ages. The all-powerful becomes powerless, and in that surrender, the play becomes alive, the game becomes real, love becomes possible. So here's the paradox that'll twist your mind. The more you let go, the more of a self you become. People who have genuinely transcended the ego, and I mean really transcended it, not just talked about transcending it, are not vague, wispy non-entities floating around in some blissed-out fog. They're tremendously alive, unique, strong characters, full of personality, full of presence. For when you stop clutching at control, when you stop trying to defend and protect and promote this little separate self, you discover that self and other are reciprocal. They're two sides of one coin. By giving power away, by opening yourself to the world, you become more fully yourself. You become more you than you ever were when you were trying so hard to be you. It's like throwing the ball to the universe and saying, now it's your turn, show me what you've got. And then watching in absolute wonder as the world plays back. As trees grow without being told how. As stars burn for billions of years without supervision. As rivers flow to the sea by the path of least resistance. As other beings respond to you in ways you never could have scripted. You find that life is not something you have to push along, not something you have to make happen through constant effort and worry. Life is something happening through you. As you are not living life. Life is living you. The universe is doing you like a wave does the ocean. The gesture of existence is surrender. The game is letting go. And in this surrender, reality reveals itself not as something to be managed, not as something to be controlled and optimized and improved, but as something to be marveled at, something to be celebrated, something to be experienced with every fiber of your being. The more you release, the more you see. And what do you see? That it was never lost, that it was always here, alive and gorgeous and present, waiting patiently for you to stop searching and simply look. So here we are, you and I, in the middle of it all, smack in the center of the mystery. And suddenly, perhaps right now, perhaps in this very instant, it dawns upon you that this ordinary moment, sitting here breathing with your thoughts and your worries and your laughter and your aching back and your wandering mind, this is the Beatific Vision. This is what saints and sages spoke of in their ecstasies. This is what mystics died trying to describe. Not somewhere else, not in some other time, not after death in some far-off heaven with clouds and harps, but here, now, in this very room, in these very hands, in these very eyes that are reading these words. To have lived even one complete moment, one moment where you are fully present, fully awake, fully alive is enough. It's more than enough. It's everything. For in that moment, the whole universe comes rushing through like water through a broken dam. The heartbeat, the breath, the sound of wind or traffic or silence, the warmth of sunlight or the cool of shade, all of it declaring, in its own wordless way, I am here, I am real, I am happening. And you too are here, you too are real, you too are happening. What more could you possibly ask for? You see, reality is not waiting to be achieved. It's not a prize at the end of a long journey of spiritual practice and self-improvement. It's not something you'll get to if you meditate enough, pray enough, work enough, suffer enough, become good enough. It is already present, shimmering in every detail, like sunlight on water, waiting for you to notice what was always obvious. The laugh of a child in the next room, the glint of light on water in the kitchen sink, the silence of night when all the noise has stopped and you can hear your own heartbeat. All of it is the infinite in disguise, playing dress-up, wearing 10,000 masks. And it is unspeakably beautiful. For when you finally open your eyes, really open them, not just physically, but with your whole being, you find that you are not a lonely fragment, not some cosmic accident thrown into an indifferent void, not a stranger in a strange land. You are the whole show. You are the very cosmos taking form as this fragile body, this fleeting story, this brief and precious existence. And though it will pass, though these eyes will close, and this heart will stop, and this story will end, it was never wasted, not 1 second of it, because the wonder of existence is that it ever happened at all. Think of it, really let it sink in. Billions of years of swirling galaxies, exploding stars, planets forming and cooling, oceans rising and falling, continents drifting, life crawling out of the sea, consciousness emerging from matter, civilizations rising and falling, your ancestors surviving against impossible odds through war and famine and disease and catastrophe. All of that vast, improbable, ridiculous, magnificent chain of events, so that for a brief while, maybe 70 or 80 or 90 years, if you're lucky, you could sit here and know that you are alive. That is the miracle. That is the gift. That is what you should fall on your knees in gratitude for, if falling on your knees is your thing. And so when at last the curtain falls, when the show comes to its inevitable close and you take your final bow, you will be able to say, you will want to say, yes, that was it. That was the good. I have seen the show. I have tasted existence, and it was gorgeous. So don't wait. Don't waste another precious moment searching for meaning elsewhere, looking for happiness in some future that never quite arrives, believing that life will really begin when you get that job, that relationship, that house, that body, that enlightenment. Look around you. Right now, this very moment is eternity playing at being you, and it is more than enough. It has always been more than enough. Reality itself is gorgeous. And you, yes, you are it.